had an affair with my husband's golden child brother who said I always get what I want. Husband found us in hospital room, put his brother in a bed next to him, both families disowned me, affair partner ghosted, ex remarried a better woman, and I'm 35 living alone in a studio apartment. I chose excitement over love and lost everything. My husband put his brother in the hospital 3 weeks ago, and both families blame me for everything that happened. They're right too. I destroyed 2 brothers' relationship, shattered a family, and lost everything I ever cared about because I believed a man who told me, I always get what I want. Turns out, he got me, and I wasn't worth having. Let me start at the beginning of the end. 6 months ago, at a family barbecue, I slept with my husband's younger brother, Tyler. Not that night, but that's when it started. When Tyler looked at me across the yard and said, loud enough for everyone to hear, damn, Kyle, your wife gets more beautiful every year. How'd you land her? Everyone laughed. It was a compliment, harmless family banter. Kyle, my husband of 8 years, just smiled and kissed my temple. I got lucky, he said. But Tyler's eyes stayed on me a little too long. And I felt something I hadn't felt in years. Seen. Desired. Special. Kyle and I had a good marriage. Not perfect, but solid. He worked in construction management, long hours, good money. We had a nice house in the suburbs, 2 cars, a comfortable life. No kids yet, we've been trying for 2 years with no success. The fertility treatments, the disappointments, the monthly cycle of hope and grief had worn us both down. We'd become roommates who had scheduled sex and made small talk over dinner. Tyler was different. He was the golden child of the family, the one who could do no wrong. Younger by 3 years, better looking, more charismatic. He'd gotten a business degree, worked in tech sales, made great money, drove a BMW. At every family gathering, Kyle's parents would gush about Tyler's latest promotion, his new condo, his adventures. Kyle would sit there, solid and dependable, while his parents celebrated his flashier younger brother. I'd always felt bad for Kyle. Felt like his family didn't appreciate him. Until Tyler started paying attention to me, and suddenly I understood the appeal of being chosen by someone everyone wanted. It started with texts. Tyler got my number from the family group chat and messaged me about a birthday present for Kyle. Then it was a funny meme. Then it was, how are you holding up with the fertility stuff? Kyle mentioned you've been stressed. I should have shut it down. Should have told Kyle. But the attention felt good. Tyler made me feel interesting again, not just the wife who couldn't get pregnant, not just Kyle's dependable partner. With Tyler, I was exciting. The texts became calls. The calls became coffee meetings when Kyle was at work. Don't tell Kyle, Tyler said. He gets weird about me hanging out with his friends. You know how he is. I knew how Kyle was. Loyal. Trusting. Secure enough not to be jealous. All the things that made him a good husband and made him easy to betray. Tyler told me things. How he'd always thought I was too good for his brother. How Kyle didn't appreciate how special I was. How if he'd met me first, things would be different. You always get what you want, don't you? I said once, half joking. He looked at me seriously. I always get what I want. And right now, I want you. I should have run. Should have seen the red flags. The arrogance. The way he talked about his brother like Kyle was less than. The fact that he was pursuing his brother's wife and felt entitled to do it. But I didn't run. I fell. The affair started 4 months ago. A hotel room after one of our coffee dates. Tyler was everything Kyle wasn't, exciting, impulsive, passionate. He made me feel alive in a way I'd forgotten existed. We'd meet twice a week, sometimes more. He'd text me during the day, sending photos, making plans. I felt like I was 22 again, falling in love, high on the thrill of it. Kyle noticed I was happier. The new medication must be working, he said, thinking it was the fertility drugs. You seem like yourself again. I let him believe it. Let him think his wife was healing when really she was betraying him with his own brother. I ignored every warning sign. The way Tyler never wanted to be seen in public with me. The way he'd cancel last minute if something better came up. The way he talked about our future in vague terms that never included actually leaving our current lives. The way he'd sometimes look at his phone and smirk, and I'd wonder if I was the only one. His family adored him. At every gathering, they'd praise Tyler while barely acknowledging Kyle. I watched Kyle's jaw tighten, watched him force smiles, watched him be the bigger person again and again. And I told myself I deserved better than being married to the brother nobody celebrated. God, I was so stupid. Last month, Tyler started pushing for more. Leave him, he said. We were in our usual hotel room, and he was scrolling through his phone while I got dressed. You're wasting your life with Kyle. You should be with someone who excites you. Are you saying you want to be together? Publicly? Eventually. But you need to leave him first. Show me you're serious. Tyler, he's your brother. Exactly. He's my brother. I know him better than anyone. He's boring, predictable, safe. You need more than that. He finally looked up from his phone. I always get what I want, and I want you. But I'm not going to be the other man forever. Make a choice. I spent 2 weeks in agony. Kyle was good to me, but was good enough? Tyler made me feel alive, but was that love or just excitement? I was 32 years old, childless, stuck in a marriage that felt more like a partnership than a passion. I decided to leave Kyle. Tell him I wanted a divorce, that I'd fallen out of love. I wouldn't mention Tyler, not yet. Just create space, let things happen naturally. I planned to tell him on a Saturday morning. Made him his favorite breakfast, sat down with my speech prepared. But before I could say anything, Kyle's phone rang. It was his mother. Tyler had been in a car accident. Not serious, but he was shaken up, asking for family. Could we come to the hospital? We went immediately. I sat in the passenger seat, feeling guilty and relieved. The universe had given me more time to figure out how to do this. At the hospital, Tyler was fine. A fender bender, mostly his pride that was hurt. The family was there, fussing over him like always. Kyle hung back, letting his parents dote on the golden child. I went to check on Tyler. He was in a private room, looking at his phone, barely scratched. When he saw me, he grinned. Hey, beautiful. Nice of you to visit. Are you okay? I'm fine. Bored. Everyone's making such a big deal. He patted the bed. Come here. Tyler, your whole family is outside. So? Come here. I shouldn't have. But I did. Sat on the edge of his hospital bed, and he immediately pulled me down for a kiss. Long, inappropriate, the kind of kiss that made our relationship obvious to anyone who might walk in. Someone did walk in. Kyle. I pulled away, but it was too late. Kyle stood in the doorway, holding 2 coffees from the hospital cafeteria. He'd gone to get coffee for me and his brother. His face went completely blank. Kyle. I stood up, my heart hammering. He looked at Tyler. At me. Back at Tyler. Understanding dawned slowly, then all at once. How long? Kyle's voice was eerily calm. Brother, listen. Tyler started. How long have you been fucking my wife? The words hung in the air. Tyler actually smirked. That arrogant, entitled smirk I'd somehow found attractive. Does it matter? She's not happy with you, man. She hasn't been for a while. I'm just giving her what you can't. I watched my husband's face, waiting for the explosion. But he just stood there, coffee cup still in his hands, looking at his brother with something like pity. You always do this, Kyle said quietly. Take what's mine. The attention, the praise, now my wife. Because you always get what you want, right? It's not like that, I said, my voice shaking. Kyle, please, we need to talk. No. He looked at me then, and I saw it. The death of love. The moment someone stops caring. We don't need to talk. It's done. He set the coffee cups down on the floor, carefully, like he was afraid he'd throw them otherwise. Then he turned and walked out. I ran after him. Kyle, wait. Please. He kept walking. Through the hospital, past his confused parents in the waiting room, out to the parking lot. I followed, begging, crying, making a scene. He got in his truck and locked the doors. I pounded on the window. Please. Let me explain. He started the engine. Looked at me through the glass with eyes that used to look at me with love. Now there was nothing. He drove away, and I stood in the parking lot, sobbing, while his parents and Tyler came outside to see what was happening. What did you do? Kyle's mother asked, her voice sharp with suspicion. I couldn't answer. Couldn't form words. Tyler put his arm around me, and I watched his mother's face change as she understood. No, she said. No. Tell me you didn't. Mom, it's complicated. Tyler started. Get away from her. His mother pulled Tyler away from me. What have you done? Your brother's wife? She's in love with me. It just happened. Nothing just happens. You went after your brother's wife. She turned to me. And you? How could you? Kyle's father was calling Kyle, getting voicemail, calling again. The hospital parking lot was full of families having happy reunions with their injured loved ones, and we were having a nuclear meltdown. We need to go home, Tyler's father said. We need to find Kyle and fix this. There's nothing to fix, Tyler's mother said, looking at her younger son with disgust. I'd never seen her direct at him before. He destroyed his brother's marriage. For what? For this? She gestured at me like I was garbage. They left. All of them. Tyler tried to stay, but his father physically pulled him away. You've done enough. I stood in that parking lot alone, watching families drive away, and I finally understood what I'd done. I destroyed everything. My marriage, Kyle's relationship with his brother, his family's unity. For what? For feeling special? For excitement? I drove home, but Kyle had been there first. The locks were changed. My clothes were in garbage bags on the lawn. My car was in the driveway, but his truck was gone. I called him. Voicemail. I called his best friend. Don't call me again, his friend said. Kyle told me everything. You're done. I called Tyler. He didn't answer. I sat on my lawn, surrounded by trash bags full of my life, and waited for Kyle to come home so we could talk. He didn't come home that night. Or the next. On the third day, Kyle's lawyer called me. He'd filed for divorce. Adultery. He wanted the house, his truck, his savings. I could have my car and my personal belongings. He wanted nothing from me, no arguments, just a clean break. He's being very generous, the lawyer said. I suggest you don't fight him. Can I talk to him? Please. Mr. Morrison has made it clear he wants no contact with you. All communication will go through me. I tried going to his job site. His coworkers blocked me. He doesn't want to see you. You need to leave. I tried going to his parents' house. His mother opened the door, looked at me with such cold hatred that I took a step back. You destroyed my family, she said. My sons don't speak to each other. Kyle won't come to family dinners. Tyler is. I don't even know what Tyler is anymore. And it's all because of you. I'm sorry. Sorry? You slept with your husband's brother. You destroyed everything. For what? I didn't have an answer. She slammed the door in my face. I tried to see Tyler. He lived in a nice condo downtown. I showed up, and he answered the door looking annoyed. What are you doing here? I thought we could talk. About what happens next. He laughed. Actually laughed. What happens next? Victoria, there is no next. You really think I'm going to date my brother's ex-wife? Have you met my family? They hate you. They're barely speaking to me. But you said. I said a lot of things. I wanted you, I got you. That's how it works. But I'm not throwing away my whole family for you. Jesus, you really thought I was serious? He shook his head. You need to go. And don't come back here. He closed the door. I stood in his hallway, understanding finally hitting me. I was a game. A conquest. The golden child taking his brother's wife because he could, because he always got what he wanted. And I'd let him. I went back to the house that wasn't mine anymore, where my things sat in trash bags on the lawn, and I called the only person I had left. My mother answered on the first ring. I heard, she said. Her voice was disappointed but not surprised. Your sister told me. Mom, can I come home? Just for a little while. Of course you can. But Victoria, what you did? I don't understand it. Kyle was a good man. I know. Then why? I looked at the house I'd shared with Kyle, the life we'd built together, now locked away from me. I don't know, Mom. I really don't know. I moved back into my childhood bedroom at 32 years old. My mother let me stay but made it clear I wasn't welcome to stay long. You need to figure out your life, she said. What you did was shameful. She was right. The shame was suffocating. Everywhere I went, people knew. Kyle's coworkers, our mutual friends, everyone in our social circle. The story spread. Woman cheats on her husband with his golden child brother, destroys the family. I was the villain in everyone's story, including my own. The divorce was finalized in 60 days. Kyle didn't fight, didn't drag it out, didn't make me suffer. He just wanted it done. I signed everything. He kept the house, the savings, everything we built. I got my car and my clothes. 8 years of marriage dissolved without fanfare. I tried to contact him one more time, sent a letter through his lawyer. I'm so sorry. I know that doesn't mean anything, but I need you to know I understand what I did was unforgivable. You deserved better than me. I hope someday you find happiness again. His lawyer called me. Mr. Morrison asked me to tell you that he's already found happiness. He's happier without you than he ever was with you. He doesn't want any further contact. That hurt more than anything. The confirmation that I'd been the problem, that without me, he was thriving. I saw proof of that everywhere. Kyle had always been quiet on social media, but suddenly I was seeing posts about him from mutual friends. Photos of him at events, smiling, looking lighter than I'd seen him look in years. He'd lost weight, updated his wardrobe, seemed genuinely happy. Someone commented on one photo, "Looking good, man. Glad to see you moving on from that situation." Kyle responded, "Best thing that ever happened to me, honestly. Sometimes you don't know you're trapped until someone sets you free." I'd set him free. By betraying him, I'd given him permission to build a better life without me. Tyler, meanwhile, had been cut off by his family. His mother refused to see him for months. His father told people he only had one son. Kyle had finally had enough of being second best, and he'd called Tyler out publicly at a family gathering I heard about through the grapevine. "You've taken everything from me since we were kids," Kyle had said, his voice calm and cold. "The attention, the praise, Mom and Dad's pride. I let you have it because you're my brother. But you took my wife, and that's where it ends. You want to always get what you want? Fine. You can have being the son they're ashamed of. That's all yours." The family had chosen Kyle. Finally, after years of favoring the golden child, they chose the son who'd been dependable and loyal. Tyler was out. He tried to reconcile, apologized, begged, but Kyle refused. "You don't get to take my wife and keep my family too," Kyle told him. "Make a choice." Tyler chose himself. Stopped going to family events, moved to a different city, started over where nobody knew the story. He didn't contact me again. I was disposable, forgettable, not worth the trouble I'd caused. I tried to rebuild my life. Got a job at a marketing firm, moved into a small apartment, started therapy. My therapist, Dr. Reeves, didn't let me off easy. "Why did you do it?" she asked in our first session. "I don't know. I felt invisible. Tyler made me feel special." "Your husband didn't make you feel special?" "He did, but differently. It was comfortable. Safe." "And you didn't want safe?" "I wanted to feel alive." "So you destroyed your marriage to feel alive?" She looked at me over her glasses. "Did it work?" I thought about it. The affair had been exciting, but had I felt alive? Or had I felt anxious, guilty, constantly looking over my shoulder? Had the thrill been worth the cost? No, I admitted. It didn't work. "Then what did you actually get from this affair?" "Nothing." "I got nothing. You got something. You got to blow up your life and blame it on excitement, on not feeling appreciated, on your husband's brother being charming. But Victoria, you made a choice. Every single day for 4 months, you chose to betray your husband. Not because Tyler was irresistible, but because you wanted to. That's not fair. Isn't it? You're sitting here acting like you were seduced, like you couldn't help yourself. But you had 100 chances to stop. You just didn't want to." She was right. I'd wanted the affair more than I'd wanted my marriage. I'd wanted to feel desired more than I'd wanted to be faithful. I'd wanted excitement more than I'd wanted integrity. And now I had neither excitement nor integrity, just the crushing weight of my choices. My family barely spoke to me. My sister, who'd been close with Kyle, told me I was dead to her. "He was family," she said. "And you destroyed him. I don't know who you are anymore." My father called once. "Your mother says you're seeing a therapist. Good. You need help. What you did. I'm ashamed of you." I hadn't heard my father say he was ashamed of me since I was a teenager. Hearing it at 32, about destroying my marriage, broke something in me. Friends disappeared. The couples we'd hung out with chose Kyle. The women I'd been friends with stopped returning calls. One of them finally told me why we all feel like we can't trust you. If you cheat on Kyle, who's to say you wouldn't go after our husbands? I'd become a threat, a cautionary tale, the woman other women warned their husbands about. Work became my only refuge, but even there, someone eventually Googled me and found the story. It wasn't hard. Kyle's mother had posted something vague but pointed on Facebook about family betrayal, and people had connected the dots in the comments. My name was there, attached to the story forever. My boss called me in. "I need to know if this is going to be a problem. It's personal. It won't affect my work." It already is. People are uncomfortable. They're worried about office dynamics. I would never. I know. But perception matters. I'm not firing you, but I need you to be aware that people are watching you. One misstep, and it'll be used against you. I was 33 years old, and my life had become about damage control. Every interaction, every conversation, filtered through the lens of what I'd done. I was the woman who cheated with her husband's brother. That was my identity now. I saw Kyle one more time, completely by accident. I was at a grocery store, late at night, because I did all my shopping when I was least likely to run into anyone I knew. I turned down the cereal aisle and there he was. He looked good. Better than good. He'd gotten a new haircut, was dressed well, looked confident in a way he never had when we were married. He was with someone, a woman around his age, pretty, laughing at something he'd said. She touched his arm in that casual way people do when they're comfortable with each other. He saw me. For a second, our eyes met. I opened my mouth, not sure what I was going to say. Sorry? Congratulations? I'm glad you're happy. Kyle just looked at me, no emotion on his face, and turned back to the woman he was with. Guided her down a different aisle with his hand on her back. Didn't acknowledge me at all. I stood there with my cart, watching him walk away, and I realized he'd moved on completely. I wasn't even worth a polite nod. I was nothing to him. The woman behind me in the aisle had been watching. Are you okay? She asked. That was my ex-husband, I said, not sure why I was telling a stranger. Ah. Those chance encounters are tough. I cheated on him. With his brother. He's moved on. I haven't. I don't know why I said it. Maybe I needed to confess to someone who didn't know the whole story. Maybe I needed to say it out loud. The woman looked uncomfortable. Oh. Well. Good luck with everything. She hurried past me. Even strangers didn't want to be associated with me once they knew. I finished my shopping and went home to my studio apartment. Looked at my life, no husband, no family support, no real friends, a job where people watched me suspiciously, an empty apartment with furniture I'd bought at thrift stores. This was my life now. This was what I'd chosen when I chose Tyler over Kyle. I tried therapy for 6 months before Dr. Reeves told me something I didn't want to hear. Victoria, you're stuck. You keep coming here talking about what you lost, but you're not moving forward. You're frozen in this moment of your life, reliving the affair and its aftermath. Because I ruined everything. Yes, you did. And now what? You've apologized, you've lost everything, you've suffered consequences. What are you going to do now? Live in this shame forever? I deserve to feel ashamed. Maybe. But shame isn't going to rebuild your life. At some point, you have to decide who you're going to be now, after everything you've destroyed. But I didn't know who I could be. The woman who cheated on her husband with his brother? That's all I was now. That's all anyone saw when they looked at me. I'm 35 now. 2 years since everything fell apart. Kyle got married last month. I saw the photos on his mother's Facebook, I still check, torturing myself with what I lost. His new wife is beautiful, accomplished, and from the comments, deeply loved by Kyle's whole family. They look happy in a way, Kyle, and I never quite managed. Tyler never came back. Last I heard, he's in another city, working for another tech company, living his life like none of this happened. He moved on immediately, no consequences, no lasting damage. The golden child landed on his feet like he always did. And I'm here, in my studio apartment, working my job where people don't quite trust me, going to therapy sessions where I talk in circles about choices I can't undo. I destroyed my marriage for a man who said I always get what I want. He got me, and then he threw me away. And in the process, I lost everything that actually mattered. Kyle was a good man. He loved me, provided for me, built a life with me. He wasn't exciting, but he was real. He was mine, and I threw him away for someone who was never going to stay. I see younger women sometimes, the ones who feel invisible in their marriages, who think they deserve more, who are tempted by someone who makes them feel special. I want to grab them and shake them and tell them, there is no excitement worth losing your integrity. There is no feeling worth destroying someone who loves you. There is no momentary thrill worth a lifetime of regret. But I can't. Because who would listen to me? I'm the cautionary tale people tell their friends, don't be like that woman who slept with her husband's brother. There's no redemption here. No lesson learned that makes it okay. Kyle is happy. Tyler is fine. And I'm living with the consequences of believing I deserved something better than what I had. I traded a good man for a fantasy, and the fantasy evaporated like smoke while the good man built an empire without me. Sometimes at night, I lie in my twin bed in my studio apartment and think about the house Kyle and I shared, the life we were building, the future we were planning. I think about how I took a sledgehammer to all of it because I wanted to feel special. I felt special for 4 months. And I'll pay for those 4 months for the rest of my life. There are no second chances for some betrayals. I know that now. But it's too late to matter. I destroyed everything for a man who always got what he wanted. And what he wanted was to prove he could take his brother's wife. Once he did, I stopped mattering. I chose excitement over love, and I lost both. That's not a mistake. That's not bad luck. That's a choice I made every single day, and now I live in the wreckage of that choice. Kyle found happiness again. I'm still looking for mine in the ruins of what I destroyed. And I deserve every lonely moment.